Welcome to our second AA podcast for the spring 22 semester, the only accounting podcast campus-wide that makes any sense. My name is Ruben and I am here with Peter. Today we're talking about the many different opportunities that there are to continue your education after obtaining your bachelor's and CPA. We also have the pleasure of having Nicole Fregoso join us on the topic. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Ruben, Peter, it is my pleasure. I guess just to start us off a little bit about myself. My name is Nicole. I am a graduate student. I'm in the master's program for accountancy, so also known as the MPAC program. A little bit about me. I've been involved with the Accounting Association for about 3 years now. I've held multiple positions, which has been really exciting. And my hobbies include sketching and I would say shopping, which is a really bad habit. Also a hobby, but a girl likes what she likes.
Haha, I can also relate with that. Let's start off with the path of one where someone would like to continue going to school. Many people have continued and have gotten their master's while being sponsored by a firm, depending on the firm they work at, of course. Some of these degrees range from a master's in accounting to taxation or even finance. Another popular route for many business-driven individuals is getting an MBA, Master's in Business Administration. In regards to which route is best for you, it depends on what your goals are. Some people like to obtain and specialize in what they do, such as getting a master's in taxation, for example. Nicole, would you be able to tell us from your experience as to just your general experience while you were obtaining your master's program, your master's in accountancy at CSUN?
Yes, of course, I'd love to share. So I just want to make note that my experience won't necessarily compare to others. We've all had different experiences throughout the program. But particularly for me, I've noted that this program, since I'm in the full-time, is very fast-paced. When you are looking into the program, I think it's very important to identify whether if you're going to be able to do part-time, which is 2 classes a semester for about 2 years, and then the full-time, which is 4 classes a semester for 1 year. And this is taking into account summer and winter classes. Particularly for me, I've had to manage a job. I am a parent, and also I have extracurricular activities in addition to my workload in the master's program. They do say that you should be prepared to study the double of hours that you have in class. So let's say on Saturdays I have a 6-hour class, it's expected of me to study 12 hours throughout the week. So if you're taking a full-time job, that's 40 hours plus the 12. And then let's say you're doing extracurricular activities, which are expected around 5 to 10 hours, you're looking at 65 hours a week. So I think just time management is really important, and knowing yourself, will you be able to grasp concepts within 8 weeks? And you're going to be tested maybe every other week or 2-3 midterms and then a final. I really enjoyed my experience so far. I've learned so much throughout this time. But again, just one of the things that I think I should have really considered more was the pace of the program. I found that to be very challenging.
Wow, sounds like there is a lot on your plate, and just very surprising on my behalf just to hear about how lengthy and just how many responsibilities you have for the program, how much time you have to dedicate to it. So thank you for sharing that. And I just want to follow up into our next topic, in which how others may prefer to be a jack of all trades versus specializing, which in this case would be getting an MBA, for example. The great thing about it is how versatile it is. You are able to open your own business or help run another person's company, or even venture into any field or industry you wish, whether that be pharmaceuticals or engineering or business, with, of course, maintaining a business-oriented goal, whether that's helping management, streamline revenues, and so forth. It goes without saying that the top schools and programs will help ensure not only your success in any given field, but provide the job security at top school and titles. What I mean by this, of course, is the connections and the people who you end up rubbing elbows with. And just like how so many finance firms require Big Four experience, you will feel the benefits of finishing a Harvard MBA program, for example. Out of curiosity, Nicole, can you tell us why you chose to pursue postgraduate program to be at CSUN?
Of course, yes. So again, when you are looking into the programs, I think that you have to be very real to yourself and know what it is that you're looking for in that program. So at CSUN, they hold, I believe, the top 20th position in the country within the accounting programs. They are very hands-on, and that's something that appealed to me. There are a lot of firms that come to CSUN just to recruit students for the accounting program. As you mentioned, some people are looking to get experience within, big firms. Fortunately, I was able to recruit with PwC, and I think that's because of the way that CSUN has developed their accounting program, both in the bachelor's and in the master's, and kind of trickles over. And again, it's the very hands-on experience that a lot of recruiters and a lot of firms are looking for. They want students who are, resilient, and I think CSUN brings a lot of diversity within their program and their acceptance rates. They have a lot of different type of students with different backgrounds, and I think that is one of the things that sets all matadors apart. We have experienced different challenges, but it's because of those challenges that we've become more dedicated, and you can see that in all the students. And personally myself, if you want something, you go for it. And I think that that's one of the things that CSUN embraces, which really made me feel that it was the program for me.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to add to that I've definitely heard, just as starting off early in my career at CSUN, just hearing about the reputation CSUN has in regards to their accounting program. And as you mentioned, Nicole, in previous conversations with me, that CSUN does a great job in, to be blunt, making worker bees, making people who are ready to enter the job industry and are able just to put their nose on the grindstone and just work it out and not have that chip on their shoulder as opposed to other schools, for example, but not calling anybody out in particular.
Yeah, and I know I've seen firsthand a lot of the students at CSUN, we're ready to hit the ground running. And that's one of the things that sets apart CSUN students and makes me proud to be, a matador.
Nice. Ruben, would you have anything to say on top of that?
Yes, I do, Peter, actually. There are a couple credits to continue in school. For some, it's not necessary depending on the career route they choose to take. For others, it is a financial matter. I think it's safe to say that taking on a $200,000 obligation in your late 20s will be very detrimental to your long term plan, whether that's starting your own business, buying a house, or even starting your own family. It's all situational at the end of the day, but there's more to education than just a degree. Which brings us to the topic of certifications. Granted, a lot of these start leaning towards the financial side of the careers, but it's always good to know what's out there. Today we'll focus on the three most prominent ones. The most relevant them would have to be Certified Management Accountant CMA. This is obtained after completing 12 individual test components that are separated into exams. After completion, having this certificate demonstrates your expertise of advanced accounting and financial management knowledge in critical areas such as financial planning, analysis, and control. This is especially helpful as it can unlock many job opportunities such as management accountant, financial analysis, cost accountant, accounting manager, senior accountant, corporate controller, and chief financial officer, CFO.
Next, we have a chartered financial analyst. This is regarded as one of the more difficult titles to earn due to the amount of time and knowledge that's needed to pass the exam. With there being 3 exams and an average of about 300 hours of study time each, candidates can expect to take about 4 to 5 years to pass all 3 exams. On top of that, 3 years of relevant experience is needed to sit for the exam, very similar to the CPA. And the reason for how lengthy it is just to be blunt, is how much knowledge it covers, as it will virtually cover everything there's to know about financial markets, derivatives, and really anything else you could possibly think of. But once it's obtained, you enter a new reality in the business world. You're now put into a class of people who are some of the smartest individuals when it comes to finance. You can reach as far as becoming an investment banker, portfolio manager, market research analyst, or even starting your own hedge fund. Expect yourself to be working with some of the most prestigious firms from Goldman Sachs to Morgan Stanley, or even Citibank, Credit Suisse, BlackRock, and all those other names. Nicole, with all of these options, can you explain why you decided to choose the path of sharpening your accounting skills with a master's degree?
Ultimately, my goal is to be an accounting professional, right? I transferred into CSUN with a pre-accountancy, and then because life circumstances, nothing is set in stone. It just took me in a different direction. I had to change my major. I decided to go with a bachelor's in management, which I really enjoyed. It challenged me, but ultimately my end goal was to be, within the accounting field. And I continued to to find an internship. And one of the things that I needed to have, one of the requirements was 2 summers available. And in order to achieve that, I decided to go for my master's. It was 1, a step towards where I wanted to go, and 2, a requirement that I needed to have in order to, again, get that internship with one of the big 4. So again, that's what I did. And particularly at CSUN, I think they do a really good job, as you mentioned, getting your education. It's not just about the degree. A lot of the focus within this program is to do group projects. And they mentioned that the purpose of this is because you get to network with these people, and these are people you're going to be working with in the future. So that focus on group projects really has helped me expand my network, both within the classroom and outside. There's a lot of people who are recruiting and who have information or need information. And fortunately, with my involvement on campus, I've been able to be a resource, outside of just the regular classroom format, which is something I've really enjoyed. So it's just brought me a lot of opportunities. I've gotten to know a lot of people, and it is challenging, but my end goal is to never be, the smartest person in the room. And I think that challenging myself with a master's degree is taking me in that direction, particularly because I was a first generation college student. And just continuing to pursue my education has, one, made myself proud, my parents proud, and I know that it's a step that I need to do and follow in order to, achieve a stable future for myself and for my son. So these are just some of the motivators that have pushed me to continue and complete this degree.
Yeah, I've definitely heard very similar things to what you've said in regards to why they also pursue accounting degrees. Me being a freshman, I'm very curious in regards to the benefits that come with it. And a lot of the similar answers I've heard is just the job security, as well as how stimulating it can be as a career. And just for myself personally, I've heard that why a lot of people pursue accounting instead of finance, for example, is basically accounting is the backbone for many businesses. Financial statements are what make a company who they are. And if you're able to recognize them, read them, analyze them, and actually even work on them yourselves, it's just an invaluable experience. So I would like to thank you once again for sharing your personal opinion on the accounting firms and just getting an accounting degree, as well as sharing your experience.
Yes, it's been my pleasure. And I do want to just reiterate, one person's experience not necessarily going to be everybody else's, but I think sharing perspective might spark somebody's interest, and might, if they were wondering if they wanted to enter the master's program, I think talking about it, it's like, oh, okay, you spark something in them, and it'll eventually, what if this takes somebody down the road of getting a master's degree in accounting? So I'm glad to help.
Thank you so much, Nicole Fregoso, for that wonderful presentation. And one last thing, please feel free to contact us with any questions at media@aaccsun.org, or you can leave a comment down below. And don't forget to follow our YouTube channel, Facebook, and Instagram to hear more about the future events. Hope that you enjoyed today's podcast, and thank you so much for listening today.